Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. And apparently, the Me Too movement is still around. Yay! Although this time it looks like they're going after Bill Murray. Bill Murray, of all people. Really? Bill freaking Murray. The guy who will randomly show up in people's wedding photos and go to birthday parties and just wander on in. Or there was one story I heard where this couple were eating at a diner and Bill Murray walks up to their table, takes a fry, dips it in ketchup, stuffs it in his mouth, and says, "No one will ever believe you," and then walks away. No, the guy that is just, there's only one, right? So this is from Entertainment Weekly. Bill Murray says he was barbecued after an on-set kiss and misconduct allegations. There was no peacemaking. This is how I know that this actually happened to him, because this is what they do. Now, see, the thing is, and he goes on to explain exactly what happens with all of these cases, is that they get one complaint, and then HR, lawyers, whoever it is in corporate that decides to pursue this, as they always do, will hunt and look for anything in your past to match up with how they want to present you to your coworkers, to the public, to everybody. So he says, "I thought it was funny to me. It still is funny. The idea they could give someone a kiss with a mask on. It's still stupid." Can you guess when this happened? Bill Murray, in reflecting on a troubling incident that took place on the set of one of his recent movies, the Lost in Translation actor discussed the allegation of inappropriate misconduct that led to production halting Aziz Ansari's unfinished film, Being Mortal. There's some irony there. And later, an investigation. Don't go too many days or weeks without thinking of what happened in Being Mortal. Murray said in a new interview with the New York Times. Yeah, that shit fucking haunts you. It does not go away. It's basically like a modern day, man, what do they call that? Those trials that they had back in the Cultural Revolution, where it was like, all of your sins and crimes are presented before you, and 99% of it's just made up bullshit. The actor previously addressed the incident, which allegedly involved a non-consensual on-set kiss shortly after it occurred. "I did something I thought was funny, and it wasn't taken that way. Some jokes just lay flat." Murray explained to CNBC in April of 2022, so this was 3 years ago, the incident ultimately caused the movie to pause production and prompted its studio, Searchlight, to conduct an investigation. Are you fucking serious? "We're talking and we're trying to make peace with each other," he said of his accuser. So yeah, and that, in my opinion, is where this should have ended. If something happened between the two of them, who the fuck are all these other people coming in going, "Whoa, whoa, 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 we have to crucify this son of a bitch"? He didn't do anything to you, so what the fuck is your problem? Now, however, Murray says the fallout of the encounter was worse than he expected. As it always is. I'm telling you, okay, these accusations, this whole cancel culture bullshit, there's no apology, there's no admission of guilt, there's no confession that you can make for them to fucking lay up on anything. Ultimately, what they want is for you to delete yourself. That is their goal. And that is what they try to do to Bill Murray. Fuck these people. I tried to make peace. I thought I was trying to make peace, he told the Times. I ended up being, to my mind, barbecued. But someone that I worked with, that I had lunch with on various days of the week and so forth. It was COVID. We were all wearing masks, which is insane to begin with. And we were all stranded in this one room listening to this crazy scene. So yeah, COVID was just a societal breakdown of psychosis. It was insane. Murray confirmed a previous report that he had kissed a crew member on the mouth. Is it really? You're both wearing masks. Is it on the mouth? Well, both he and the woman were wearing masks. I don't know what prompted me to do it. It's something that I had done to someone else before, and I thought it was funny, and every time it happened, it was funny. 'Cause you're wearing masks, and it's stupid. I was wearing a mask, and I gave her a kiss, and she was wearing a mask. It wasn't like I touched her, but it was just, I gave her a kiss through a mask, through another mask, to another person, and she wasn't a stranger. Again, this is between him and her. If she's still pissed off later, call a lawyer. But for this bullshit to go to all these other assholes to attack him, who the fuck are they? The Ghostbusters actor said the incident still bothers him because the movie was stopped by whatever they called a human rights or H&R of the Disney Corporation, which he said is probably a little bit more strident than others. Really? It turned out that there were pre-existing conditions and all of this kind of stuff. What? I'm like, what? How was I supposed to know anything like that? There was no conversation. There was nothing. There was no peacemaking. Nothing. And there never is. Ever with these people. Murray went on to detail how the incident went into this lunatic arboration. Been there. Of which he did not speak highly. If anyone ever suggests you go to arboration, don't do it, he said. Never ever do it because you think it's justice and it isn't. No, all they do is they fucking roast you over a pit. And they bring up all this bullshit, and half of it is fucking made up, and the other half is true stuff that they bring up, but they'll leave stuff out, or it's from the view of somebody else who wasn't there and what they heard and how shit went down. It's fucking insane. Yeah, so later in the New York Times interview, Murray said Gina Davis' accusation of harassment on the set of 1990's Quick Change was outrageous, and he denied the rumor that he threw an ashtray at Richard Dreyfuss. You're not the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I fucking loved him in Red. While shooting 1991's What About Bob? He was an annoying ass psychiatrist, so kind of fits. That's not even true, he said of the Dreyfuss incident. You can tell that story as much as you like, but it's never going to be true. I did fire a glass, but I threw it at the ceiling. We were in a townhouse on the set of What About Bob, and I did not fire it at anyone. I threw it up in the far corner of the townhouse, assuming it might break upon contact with the ceiling and the walls, but I didn't throw it at anyone. If I had thrown it at Dreyfuss, I would have hit him. Fair enough. Murray admitted that he'd had unpleasant interactions with a few individuals in the past, as we all do, but insisted that they're not representative of his usual behavior. When someone has an episode like mine on Being Mortal, the world goes searching for more proof that this person is a monster. And that is 100% correct. An absolute monster, he said. Well, I've had interactions with hundreds of thousands of people over 40, 50 years. Now you can come up with half a dozen if you really worked. You'd probably come up with a couple dozen bad ones. Yeah, not everyone gets along. He continued, most people I have an okay experience with. Some people you have a spectacular experience with. But my percentages are no different than yours. When asked if he feels that he learned a lesson from the Being Mortal set experience, Murray responded, I think so. You can teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, which is probably why we don't hear any of these stories about him doing crazy stuff anymore. Because he was just like, fuck it, I'm going to go live in a box. But the actor added that the whole conversation was a great disappointment to him. I thought I knew someone and I did not, he said. I certainly thought it was light. I thought it was funny to me. It's still funny. The idea that you could give someone a kiss with a mask on, it's still stupid. It's all it was. So yeah, this guy, and then, of course, there's some chick named Luna in the comments. Let's look at some of the comments, because I bet you a bunch of people are still trying to roast this guy 3 years later. Luna, 1 hour ago. Oh, this is recent. He's done this multiple times to women. He clearly has no respect for women and their personal space and boundaries. Okay. It's not funny. He does do it to men. Does he do it to men? No. And it's because it's not about being funny. It's about asserting power. Power? Bill Murray. Bill Murray is asserting power. Okay. Wow. Luna's got some issues. So yeah, I have to say, in the past, it's not like I hadn't had my ass grabbed at work before by women. So, no, literally, had my ass grabbed at work by women. Which, as a guy, you learn early on. No point in saying anything to anyone. Ever. However, if the roles are reversed, I would have been fucking crucified. People just ready to jump on anything and anything. If you even look at someone they call foul, sad. Chrissy has it right. Chris, the Dreyfus affair would have been funnier. Josh, 8 hours ago, I didn't throw the glass at Dreyfus. I threw it at the ceiling. Why is a grown man throwing a glass at all? It's called comedy, right? It's being spontaneous. Perhaps it was like one of those things that could have made the scene, right? He was so difficult on the set of Groundhog Day that it caused a rift with longtime friend Harold Ramis, who directed and co-wrote the movie for many years. He was also so difficult on the set of Charlie's Angels that he made co-star Lucy Liu cry. Leave Lucy alone. She's one of my favorites. These stories are nothing new. Rumors about Bill being very difficult and inappropriate on the set have been going on for years. Okay. Jawbreaker. Whoever that is. The problem is that people don't hold the powerful people who screw you accountable. Go on doing it by the next generations of wealthy descendants. What? Okay. Jawbreaker's got another weird ass comment. Not reading that. JJ, let's see what JJ has to say. The fact that he still thinks it's funny tells me he doesn't get it and likely never will. Women finally realize they don't have to sit back, smile, and take behavior from others and make them feel uncomfortable. I could go on a long rant about this bullshit. Would he have kissed a man? Why? 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 Do you want him to kiss a man? Is this where this is going? And yes, that's still sexual assault. If that is the case, that's what you're... Okay. Would that be funny? Under this right circumstances, yeah, it could be funny. It's not okay to invade someone's personal space with or without a mask on. With or without clothes on. Get it? Grabbing my boob over my clothes is the same as kissing me with a mask on. Oy, oy, oy. All monsters get to be monsters because they have enough social skills and redeeming qualities to not be instantly rejected. Funny doesn't mean anything in the context of this conversation. Zellblatt. Their name is Zellblatt. And, it all comes back to this. Bill Murray is funny. He really isn't all that funny, even back in the day. JJ, burn in hell. And it goes on and on. Everybody's got to have their opinion on whether Bill Murray is just a horrible person or not. But no, I think this situation was blown totally out of proportion, that whatever happened needed to be discussed between him and the other individual. And however that proceeded after that point in time, still is between them. Why all this other bullshit with the studio and everything had to get involved, I don't know. But eventually, somebody sticking their nose in other people's business is going to be broken. And this whole notion of these HR assholes just being able to come in and totally fuck with your life over some bullshit, some playground type bullshit that should just be a discussion between two adult individuals. I didn't really like that. I'm sorry to say that. How can I make that up to you? Doesn't need to go any further than this. This was not a capital offense. There's no fucking handcuffs involved. Were the police called? Is there a fucking lawsuit in place? No. Leave Bill Murray alone. I'm sure I'm going to get some shitty comments at the end of this video, and I don't give a crap. Leave Bill Murray alone. If she's got a problem, she can bring it to him. There's no reason to get all these other power-hungry assholes involved in the situation, and I'm sure Aziz Ansari is so happy that his fucking project got shelved for the last 3 years over some stupid incident that people blew out of fucking proportion. And if they're losing money on this, after all, it was in production. They were filming. And now it's never being released because these assholes decided to just fucking nuke everything over something that happened on the set between two individuals. Well, they're not consenting adults. Shit happens. He could have brushed up against her ass at the buffet table where they're all having lunch, and the same shit would have happened, right? I'm sorry, I was talking to so-and-so. I backed up. I didn't know you were there. You grabbed my ass. No, this was, this is clearly adults not acting like adults. And I'm not referring to Bill Murray. I'm referring to everybody else who turned this into a federal offense. So yeah, not happy with this. Leave Bill Murray alone. This is completely fucking ridiculous. And keep on typing.